Welcome to Resource Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. I want to introduce you to a term that I use. It's called the Misery Index, and it's going to be tied directly to the economy. Many of you were not alive when Jimmy Carter was president, and he was the worst president this country has ever seen through his policies and everything else. And even though the press heralded him as a great, president at the time and building him up, he was actually horrible. And when he was a one and done president, there was a collective sigh of relief when that buffoon was thrown out of office. Ronald Reagan came in, and it took him 4 years to fix this idiot's mistakes on the economy and foreign policy. When I'm talking about mistakes, I'm talking 20% interest. I'm talking about steaks, meat that was so high we were eating canned spam and hot dogs and bologna and everything else we could possibly do, including generic food, plain label, black and white, generic coffee, and all that other kind of stuff. That's something you do not want to experience again, and that's why I'm going to call it the misery index. You are going to have to become far more efficient in your travels, in your everyday life, how you spend the money, and reprioritize what it will take to get through these 4 years. So, let me give you an example. If you say, hey, I'm out of hot dog buns or hamburger buns or bread or something, I'm going to run up to the dollar store and come right back. But gasoline here locally is $4.09 a gallon. You've got less than a quarter of a tank, and you're going to make trips like that. But to fill it up is going to cost you between $50 and $60 depending on your vehicle. And you're going to look at your paycheck and you're going to compare it to how many hours of hard work it will take to put gas in that tank, to do the things that actually count. Going to work, possibly going to the doctor's or a hospital or something of priority. You're going to be forced into measuring and limiting your travels. Now that springtime is around the corner, it's still a ways away because we're at 0 degrees here in Ohio right now, and that's extremely cold. And you can see I'm wearing a hoodie in the house because propane has gotten ridiculous, so we've cut back on raising the temperature. That's a misery index factor. But when we don't have to wear these hoodies and it's really nice outside, and you're saying, geez, I wanted to go to the ball game or I wanted to go play 18 holes or something else like that. And by that time, gas will be higher. Biden inflation will take place even further. And you're going to say, can I really afford, for a family of four, $150 in tickets just to get into the game at $30 each, plus parking, plus another 100 plus dollars in food? And you're going to say, where's that money coming from? And I still have to put gasoline in the car to get to and from. That's the misery index. You're going to say, I want to play 18 holes, but here's the cost of 18 holes, plus the cart, plus the green fees, plus whatever else, the 19th hole. Can I afford that $100 bill? If you can, good on you. Or your boat. Can I afford to put 75 gallons of gas in my twin engine, which we had and we sold a long time ago, $400 in gas to go trolling or drifting out on the lake and catch maybe some fish, and suddenly that walleye is $30, $40 a pound, and you can only do it once on a weekend. And hopefully the lake is calm enough that you can afford that. That's the misery index. Or son and daughter says, hey, can I borrow the car? I want to go out, ride with my friends, and we're going to go over here and there. And you're going to look at them and say, do you have a job? Well, no, I'm only 16 years old. How are you going to put gas in the car? Well, you're going to do that, mom, dad. Hey, son, daughter, we have to get back and forth to work. We cannot afford you to be driving all over hell and high water with your friends, having a good time and whooping it up. If you want to get over there, either they come and pick you up or you ride your bicycle. We can't afford it. That's a misery index. Same with upcoming, football games. Can I really afford to go sit in the dog pound, spend all day there, spending money that I don't have, and then go to work Monday and saying I have to work overtime to pay for that event? You're going to be forced into making decisions that's going to rub you the wrong way, and that's the misery index. So when, you see a pair of jeans that you say, wow, those would look really good on you, you're going to look at it and say, how's that going to compare to filling up the gas tank or putting food on the table? When the barbecues come out and you say, I can't afford $50 for 2 steaks, give me the hot dogs, that's the misery index, and it's going to suck. Klaus Schwab got it right. He said, get ready to deal with an angrier world with this economic reset. I'm telling you, he should have said, for the misery index will cause the anger and the angrier world. And it absolutely will. I lived through it under Jimmy Carter, the tail end of it. And let me tell you something. Generic label food, when you say is second cuts, you may open a can of green beans and you'll get green beans plus pieces, plus stems, plus leaves, plus whatever else is in there because it's generic, and you're going to say, what the hell is this? And it's not the bright green beans you're expecting, but more of a faded green. And peas may be the size of, normal size, or it may be smaller, maybe wrinkled or something else like that, but it fits into your budget. So that's the misery index. You're not going to be eating as well as you think. So if I were you and you're a prepper, I'm glad that you stocked up on food. For those of you that are not prepping and wondering what it's like, I'm telling you what it's like. Get the good food while you can right now, because you're going to be self-imposing because you can't afford it. You're going to say, I wish I could afford it, but I can't. That's the misery index. So get ready for that. It's coming. And people are going to start canceling their seats at the baseball game, the football games, at the hockey games. You're going to see a lot less of that. You may have to cancel your internet. You may have to cancel DirecTV. We're considering those right now. That's the misery index. And that's what I'm warning you about right now. It's a sucky message, but get ready for it. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Please leave your comments below. Please continue to refer this channel. Get yourself right with God. That's free. Asking for forgiveness. And get baptized. Greg out.